twilight edge of winter in January and Delhi is warming up to the India Art Fair. The fair is in its 15th edition. We are here to meet Jaya Asokan, its director, to understand its inflection points and the way it has been inching towards and then marching towards interdisciplinary concepts from performative art, design, jewelry, fashion, many other ideas that have coded and made what Jaya calls being cultural custodians. Can art lead the dialogue, or does art mirror what's going on in contemporary society? That and a lot more addressed by Jaya, who says that sustainability is not just a matter of being on panels. Art is not just mirroring, it can lead the way. This year is also an important one, not just because it's 15 years of the art fair, but because several museum curators, directors from around the world will be here to see what the Global South offers in terms of cultural sustainability.
One of the things about the India Art Fair is that it was instrumental in really creating a scene for what the arts are in India today. Of course, we've always had artists and galleries, but I think that we really helped bring the whole community together 15 years ago. And by doing that, the dynamics between the artists, the galleries, collectors themselves, we've really created the infrastructure for a market in the country. I think that we are definitely trendsetters. We like including new things into the conversation. So we want India Art Fair to be a place to discover, to learn about new trends. We don't necessarily want to comment on them, but we have digital art, we have performance art, and you're absolutely right. We are blurring boundaries. We believe that there's a lot of cross-pollination between disciplines, whether it's art, design, architecture. And this year especially, we're very excited to announce our inaugural design section featuring collectible designs, one-offs or editioned objects. We also have jewelry in the mix because there is really this blurring of boundaries of creativity. And like we did for art, we're very keen to be these a custodian of culture, if you will, and create this infrastructure for design in the country to have it perceived the way it should be. What we aim to do is really change perspectives a little bit and have people look at everyday things in a very different perspective. And the best people to do this are artists, in our opinion. So how we talk about sustainability, how we talk about inclusivity is a lot through artistic projects as well and discourse. So for example, we have a huge digital project by an artist called John Gerard, which comments on oil consumption in the US, for example. We have a land art project by Ladakh, which talks about the ecology in Ladakh in particular this time. And it's a huge immersive installation. And then even through digital art, this time the theme is forces of nature. So it's about technology and nature and the interplay between the two. So as you can see, I've given you a few examples about how art directly and artists directly respond to the environment around them and the ecology around them. Getting a little more specific, we work with sustainability in very interesting ways at the fair itself. We reuse walls, we reuse floors, we have biodegradable food items in the food court, we use glass bottles for water. Flex, unfortunately, isn't the most sustainable material, and we use flex for the facades of our tents. So this year what we're doing is very interesting. We are actually repurposing the flex. The facade is being designed by the artist duo Tukral and Tagra. And after the fair, the flex will be repurposed into bags by a Dalit-run studio in Bombay called Chamar Studio. And the funds from these, or the proceeds, so it's almost like getting a little artwork by TNT, and the proceeds for these will go towards helping young creatives and artists. So we try and find a way to bring sustainability or repurposing materials into the whole narrative of the fair. We're very excited about this edition. It's our 15th edition. We really feel that the lens of the world has turned towards the global south. There is a huge interest in visiting the region, in seeing, the art, craft from the region itself. And so we've invited a lot of museum professionals, from the director of the LACMA, Michael Govern, to senior curators from the Museum of Modern Art in New York, to very senior curators from museums in Berlin, as well as people in the Middle East. And we're particularly excited because we feel it's about time that they see what's happening in the region, what Indian and South Asian artists are doing. And this reflects in multiple ways, because either they're acquired by the museums themselves, which is fantastic because these artists go into their collections, but we also see a lot of conversation happening between galleries and artists being then picked up that are seen in India and being shown overseas, which is a great byproduct of their visiting the fair. So when we say young, we actually just mean young in your collecting journey. The demographic does tend to be under 40, but it's more people who are immersing themselves and trying to understand this whole sometimes opaque world of art. So to make it as accessible as we can for them, we try and also make it a bit fun. So firstly, we always support a gallery during the Young Collectors program that is very well priced, that has young emerging artists that are somewhat on the same peer group or peer level as the collectors themselves. And then we have different, like I said, we have music, we have art, we have performance. We have a lot of things in their generation that they identify with a lot more. So they're a lot more comfortable than entering that conversation, asking questions, and buying also for the first time in their collecting journey.